Hey guys, new episode. Today I have the beautiful LS60s from KEF with me, their active flow stander. I recently did a review on their younger brother as well as baby brother equivalents, the LSX as well as the LS50 wireless. It's fairly unusual to see active flow standards in the market. Off the top of my head, I can just think of brands like Q Acoustics, Dyna Audio, and maybe Bang & Olufsen that make active flow standards that are freely available in the country. The LS60 provides separates level performance and belongs at the very top of my EZ5 pyramid. We're seeing as time goes on that lots of people obviously are concerned about serious sound, but don't necessarily want to go down the route of extravagant sort of amplifier, cables, streamer, and things like that. So we've seen quite an uptick in the sales of the LS60 over the last few years. I've installed quite a few of them. I had the privilege of also spending the last couple of weeks with them at my home, which allowed me to really put them through their paces. Before I get into exactly what makes the speaker special and why you should potentially consider investing in it, let me give you a brief rundown about KEF as a brand. KEF, which stands for Kent Engineering and Foundry, was, as the name would indicate, was founded in Kent, England in 1961 by a ex-BBC engineer named Raymond Cooke. He spent a lot of time in innovation around driver design, driver material research, as well as measurement techniques. Starting in 1961, they launched the K1, which is their first full-range loudspeaker. In 1975, KEF produces the LS3 5A, which is a BBC-designed near-field monitor, one of the most iconic near-field monitors to ever be produced. In 1988, they launched the Uni-Q coaxial driver design, which is essentially the placing of the tweeter in the center of the mid-range for wider dispersion. This goes on to give KEF their unique sound. In 2011, they launched the Blade, which introduces the single apparent source driver array. These are drivers aligned so that the sound feels like it's coming from a single point. In 2012, as part of their 50th anniversary, they launched the LS50, which is a compact passive speaker, which goes on to become a modern classic. In 2016, they launched the LSX as well as the LS50 wireless, the LSX being a compact wireless speaker with a built-in DAC and streaming, and the LS50 being a passive LS50 with active streaming built in. In 2020, they launched the Metamaterial tech, which was developed to absorb up to 99% of unwanted tweeter frequencies. They use this technology to build the LS50 Meta, which gives the speaker significantly cleaner highs. And in 2020, they also launched the LS50 Wireless 2, which is a fully re-engineered LS50 speaker with the added MAT technology and things like HDMI, ARC, as well as high-end streaming. In 2022, they see the launch of the LSX2, which is the generation 2 of the LSX, with better streaming, USB-C, and HDMI ARC. Towards the end of 2022, they launched the LS60 wireless, which is their first floor-standing wireless speaker based on technology from the Blade as well as the LS50. So those are some of the iconic models as well as technologies that KEF have brought to the fore over the last 65 odd years. Here are the specifications behind the LS60 wireless. So the speakers obviously are an active wireless floor-standing speaker system. They include a single 19mm vented aluminum dome tweeter with MAT, a single 100mm aluminum mid-range, both in Uni-Q array, as well as 2 into 5.25-inch unique core force-cancelling woofers. Each speaker provides 700 watts worth of power. That means a total of 1400 watts of system power. And their frequency response is between 26 Hz going up to 24 kilohertz. Inputs include HDMI, ERC, optical, coax, RCA, and Ethernet. And on the streaming front, you're covered with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.0, AirPlay, Chromecast, Spotify Connect, Tidal Connect, as well as Roon. The unit can be controlled through the KEF Connect app, as well as an infrared remote that's provided with the system. Each speaker weighs about 33 kilos, so they're fairly heavy, and they're available in 3 options, a royal blue, a mineral white, and the very popular titanium gray. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, I had the opportunity to spend a couple of weeks with the LS60s. Visually, obviously, first things first, they are stunning, designed by acclaimed industrial designer Michael Young. They're fairly slim when you factor in most floor standards in the market. and obviously just generally visually stunning. So I think on the visual front, you're going to have no complaints. They're going to work with most modern households. Sonically, it's got that KEF sound, so a very neutral, transparent, musical sound. So no issues there. Thrived at jazz, vocal-centric music. I was hearing a lot of details from songs that I've been listening to for a very long time. So that's obviously a good thing. Considering that I listen to a lot of classic rock as well as heavy metal, I was a little worried that they might not deliver on the lower end of things, but the dual-core subwoofers had no issues delivering the lower end that I needed while listening to, the likes of Led Zeppelin or the White Stripes or Wolfmother or whatever it is that I decided to throw at it on that particular day. It's got a nice wide soundstage, and it's got great imagery, lots of separation. So I think on the sonic front, it delivers where it's supposed to. And as we mentioned earlier in the video, sort of separates level performance without having the tamasha of an amp and cables and things like that. Negative aspects, I think we start off with the smaller negatives. I think the app's fairly, blah. It could be a lot better. I didn't have any issues setting up, but it's fairly clunky for a premium product like the LS60. No room correction, which I think is a little bit of a letdown considering the pricing on the product. And lastly, there have been known to be some issues setting up the bass in highly reflective rooms, which I did not face since my room is in highly reflective, but that could be a potential issue. And I think the biggest issue of all is the price point, 6.5 lakhs. It's a fairly large chunk of change, so it's not going to be something that's going to fit for everybody. I think that if you're looking for an overall separate level performance, looks beautiful, it's going to elevate your home entertainment experience, I think it's a no-brainer. However, if you're leaning towards sort of more value for money, then I think that a passive, high-end passive floor stander along with a great amp might give you similar performance and save you a little bit of cash. These speakers are available for demo at our Mahim showroom in Mumbai, and obviously we sell them. If you're looking for the consultation, you can hit the consult button in the bio. I'm always looking for feedback and suggestions, so please let me know in the comments below, and look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon on a new episode.